What is going on, boys and girls of YouTube? Today we are doing a top 5 mid lane guide list, whatever, just so you know what you should be playing. Mid lane's a little bit weird right now. I have the builds updated on Smite Source, so you can go look at all those. All the builds are updated. Mid lane hasn't changed much other than some of the gods that can really exploit the new Spear of the Magus, which you should be pretty much rushing right after boots on almost every god. Those gods have moved up a little bit, but you're gonna see pretty much the same stuff. You also have to remember that Ring of Akate is in the game still and not nerfed, and we don't know if it's getting nerfed, so that's gonna move some gods around. And with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this top 5 with our number 5, and mostly mages here. Just get that out of the way. Number 5 is gonna be Nuwa. They buffed Nuwa, gave Nuwa the buff my creeps treatment. Pretty much they made her creeps pretty sick. They're really fast. They get to the target right away, and because of that and the items in the game, she does a shit ton of damage, especially right now. Does a shit ton of damage, fairly safe. You don't have a lot of mobility, but as long as your ult is up and your team is rotating to you, can't speak today, rotating to you, be fairly safe. Use your fog correctly, use that to juke abilities and stuff, and you'll be good to go. The build, like I said, Smite Source is updated. So here's Smite Source. By the way, if you guys are using your phones for Smite Source, there's a weird bug going on. We're trying to fix it. Turn the phone sideways to see all of the items. Like turn off your lock and make sure you can turn it horizontal. It'll flip and you'll be able to see everything. Some phones can only see like 3 items or something. So there's a fix. For the starter items, it's going to be Mage's Blessing into rank 1 of penetration, your potions and your mana potions. And then right away into the build. Shoes of Focus, cooldown boots, boom, easy peasy. Spear of the Magus is, like I said, got buffed. So you're rushing Spear of the Magus. You want this online because it's increasing everyone's damage done to your target by 7.5%. So we'll just pretend it's 10%. We'll just stay at that number. So if you're doing 100 damage, which would be really early, you get an extra 10 damage from each person doing 100 damage. So you'll do more, your jungler will do more, your support will do more. The item is very good, especially on gods that have continuous damage. So like Nuwa, your creeps go on them, your fog hits them, your 3 hits them, you get the combo explosion, then you ultimate. You've got a lot of extra damage coming out, plus the fact that it applies the Spear of the Magus to everybody off of your ult, which is really strong. Next up, you're getting a Spear of Desolation, more power. So these 2 items together, 220 power together. So 110 right here. I believe it might be a little bit more, but I think that's right. Then you're getting the cooldown and you're getting the penetration. So boom, right here's your core. It's pretty much a blue build almost, and you do a shit ton of damage. Then you're going Soul Reaver, giving you more power, giving you percent pen, and giving you the passive Soul Gem to put you at 30% CDR, which is just going to be really strong for you during this time, allow you to spam a little bit more. You can swap this out for a Kronos pendant if it makes you comfortable, or you just want that max CDR. But realistically, this is fine. Late game, you get the rod, and then you're finishing the full build. You have your 6 items. You still have boots though. You're getting red pots. You're getting 40% CDR, and then you can go ahead and sell the Shoes of Focus for whatever it is you need. So as I mentioned, if you want a Kronos pendant, that's an option. If you need more penetration, you can get an Ob Shard, Obsidian Shard. You can get whatever you want when you sell boots. It's completely up to you. I do really like Kronos pendant. Strong item, really good. Allows you to spam a lot. The real reason that I've moved everything forward is you're pretty much just going for the instant guaranteed kill rather than the spam early game. And then late game, you're able to spam your abilities a little bit more when you have that Kronos pendant. Number 4 on the list is going to be Discordia. Shouldn't be a surprise. Discordia has been played a shit ton. No reason to even argue this. Like literally, Discordia has been played a lot. The passive is really good right now. Well, it's been good forever. The fact that she can also use Spear of the Magus is going to help you out a little bit. And then just overall playstyle, build, safety, all that stuff is going to apply straight into what Discordia is doing. You're pretty much going to go very similar builds on everybody and only altering the builds if you need like anti-heal or whatever. As I mentioned down here, anti-heal, you just get it over Spear of Desolation and then you're good to go. So yeah, same build on Discordia. Once again, if you're more comfortable being able to spam your abilities, you can swap in the Kronos pendant earlier anywhere in this build after Spear of Desolation. So here, and then just shift the whole build forward. Meaning if you get Kronos pendant here, you'll get Soul Reaver, Soul Gem, Rod of Tahuti for boots. You just move everything forward. It's not a big deal. You're not shifting the build up too much if you decide to do that. And here's your same build. Shoes of Focus, Spear of the Magus, Spear of Desolation, Soul Reaver, Soul Gem, Rod of Tahuti. Like I said, Discordia's got the safety with her 3, the ult for the kind of self-peel, big damage, and keeping people from chasing you. The spammable abilities, really low cooldown on everything, especially with her 3. If you sit in the 3, your abilities reduce cooldown faster. So you're able to spam and really exploit the Spear of the Magus with the 2-1 combos, 2 procs to Spear, 1 procs, 1 goes off, hits them, does even more damage. Fantastic combos from Discordia. Next up on the list, this god's been all over the place. Where is it? I don't even know how to spell the name. Babadoodoo. She's gotten better and better and buffed and buffed and buffed. And I think she's actually to a point now where she's really, really fucking good. Like really, really good. Why is she so good? They buffed Book of Thoth. So your starter Book of Thoth is better. They buffed this item and they buffed Book of Thoth. Because of Baba Yaga's passive, which makes you stack stuff faster, you get to exploit all the stacking items that are really good right now. So you buff 2 stacking items, she's going to be good based off of her build. Plus they buffed all of her abilities and they made her ult really, really good in a way that people don't understand it. I think she's one of those gods that the better you are and the more you play her and the more you understand her, the better she is for you as a mid lane god. If you've never played her, you're probably going to suck for a little while. But once you get comfortable and used to her abilities are a little bit different to land. They don't travel at the same speeds as a lot of mage abilities. They do a lot of things differently than most mage abilities. And the way her ults use is completely different from most mage abilities. So you have to recognize that. Cover the build first. Mage's Blessing, gonna stack up quick and get online way faster than the other mage. It's gonna help you in lane. Then you're gonna rush straight into Book of Thoth before you finish boots. You want to do this because realistically in the early game you're not all that useful. Your goal is rotate to safe team fights when you can, but ideally you're just sitting in lane farming. You're going and getting the jungle camps when you can, and you're just doing that, getting Book of Thoth online as soon as possible. This is also going to stack up very quickly from your passive. Get it online. Then choose a focus. You want some CDR. You have high cooldowns, so you want CDR badly, and you're not getting it till way later, so you really want it early, want it here. Then you're getting Spear of the Magus, as we said, awesome item. Plus you're playing a god that has 5 damaging abilities. Your 1, your 2 twice, your 3, and your ultimate. Plus there's spammable abilities that have multiple hits. Spear of the Magus, really, really good for Baba Yaga. Warlock Staff. By now, your Book of Thoth is stacked. You finish this Warlock Staff as soon as possible. It's giving you a lot of power. It's giving you health, which is going to keep you alive. And it's giving you the penetration from the item. Super strong Warlock Staff at this point. Then you're going Soul Gem, then you're going Soul Reaver. This is another build. Kronos Pendant, very, very good in the build. I sell boots for Kronos Pendant, so you can spam a lot more late game. You can shift your whole build forward if you want to after Warlock Staff. So you go Warlocks, then Kronos Pendant, then Soul Gem, then Soul Reaver. Easy fucking peasy. There's your full build. Playstyle. This is where people are confused. I believe I have gameplay for this, luckily, so that'll help you guys a little bit. Baba Yaga's playstyle. Your ultimate. Oh, and another thing. Hold on. Before I get too far into the playstyle, this build, one other item in this build that I do like to throw in, especially if you're dying a lot or they're focusing you. Doesn't happen all the time, but if you're being hard focused, Hide of the Urchin. You will be able to Hide of the Urchin because this item has a lot of defense, has a lot of health, gives you a little bit more mana, which is nice for your build. Plus the stacks. You're going to stack up this passive fast too. Your passive will stack up this item. It's weird. A lot of people don't understand that. Your passive does stack up Hide of the Urchin, just stacks it up at a slower pace. So the item is going to be thrown into your build somewhere in here. Usually for Soul Gem, you would swap it out, or Soul Reaver. I'd probably drop out Soul Reaver, take a little bit of power loss over the CDR loss. So I would drop Soul Reaver. I would build Hide of the Urchin here. Get those stacks online, then Soul Gem, and then I would go whatever I wanted for boots, whatever I needed to. But that's like a I need to live item, and it is very, very, very good. And like I said, the playstyle, Baba Yaga, finally to it. Your 1 is going to be good damage and great clear. It's going to be what you level up to clear. Your 2 is going to be your big like team fight spikes that people don't understand because you carry 2 of them. The 2 has, it's very confusing, and I think this is where people get lost. So I'm going to try to slow down and break it down for you. The 2 has buffs to it, essentially. As it says, it throws together random ingredients. These random ingredients are either going to give you more damage, they're either going to slow more, they're going to reduce the attack speed of the person, and the power. They're going to do one of those things. The red one is what you're looking for. The red, when you're in game and you see the little red thing pop up around your 2 when you're holding it, it's around the potion, you'll see the 2. You use the 2, you'll see the red things. If you have a bunch of those, that means you're going to do a lot of damage. So if you ever get to late game and you have a 4 proc of red or a 5 proc all red, 3, 4, 5 red, store it, put it in your potions, carry it around for when the team fight happens, and then have that second 2 ready to go. You'll be able to pull it out whenever you want. And like I said, that's your big damage. That's what you have to focus on landing. So realize 1, early game clear, does good damage. It's going to be good in team fights. The 2 is your big boy damage in team fights. Your 3 is going to be used to keep you alive. You take reduced damage in your 3, plus it's your limited mobility. You move a little bit, like you get away from people, but it's not great. Your ultimate is your lifesaver. Your ultimate is fucking insane. Your CC immune, you get a fat ass shield, and you have like a hasten proc for your use in it, so you can throw the ultimate multiple times while moving at full speed. Very, very strong, very, very useful. Use it for peel. It also knocks back when you ultimate, so if anyone's standing on top of you, ult, it pops them away and gives you a shield. You're not gonna die. If you're being focused, your ultimate must be used for defense. Early in the game, level 5 to like level 12, it is mainly a defensive ability. It is not a very good damage dealer at all. It is pretty terrible at damage dealing. That doesn't mean never use it for damage. Just make sure you're safe and you aren't going to need it for defense at some point when you use it. Save it for a defensive ability most of the game, and you will see yourself doing a hell of a lot better. Sorry we talked about Baba Yaga so much, but I think Baba Yaga, once people understand it and grasp her abilities, like how good she really fucking is, you will love her. She'll be your favorite god. Number 2 on the list, another mage. Shouldn't be so surprised. It's Kronos. We all know why Kronos is good right now, and it's because of one, not really just one item. It's the combo of items, if we're being real. But Ring of Hecate making Kronos insane. You're going the carry build in the mid lane. Like I need to say this is also in the mid lane build. I need to title it different. But Hunter's Blessing into your booties, into your Ring of Hecate. This could be lifesteal boots too. This is not really important. I like being able to spam a little bit more, so that's just me. It's just preference. Hunter's Blessing, Shoes of Focus, Ring of Hecate, Spear of the Magus, so you do more damage. Fucking insane for auto attack gods. And then Typhon's Fang, Telkines, and Demonic Grip. Sell your booties for Hasten Ring is good. You don't need to sell for Hasten Ring. I mainly do that for the life, for the attack speed. That's the whole core of it. This item can be Rod of Tahuti, whatever you need it to be for damage. Rod makes you hit really, really hard, so it is a good item. And then the order of this is your core 3. Once you're here, you're going to do a lot of damage. I joke and say this is the full build for all the gods that use Ring of Hecate, because you do so much at this point. But realistically, you can shift Telkines here, you can shift Demonic Grip here, and you can put Typhons last, wherever you want this build. You can do these in whatever order you want. I like having Telkines as soon as possible. The damage burst you get off of it is nuts. Plus the stats are really good. Demonic is nice if you're killing tanks. If you're not killing tanks, don't worry about Demonic till later in the build, till this 5th or 6th item slot. Why is Kronos good? Ultimate reset, same shit, different day. You hit really hard with your auto attack, so once you get like, dude, as soon as I finish Ring of Hecate, I can just auto attack anybody down. You can out trade pretty much anyone. There's nothing they can do about it, so that's very strong. Your 1 is actually really good clear even with this build. You hit super hard, plus you can 1-3 or 3-1, and you are able to do a lot of extra damage off of the Spear of the Magus proc. That's why Kronos is so good. Plus you're seeing all the auto attack mages doing a lot better right now. Number 1 on our list, Merlin. Merlin was number 1 for like 800 years. Then saw some nerfs, some cooldown nerfs, and people were like, maybe Merlin's not insane. And you saw Merlin drop a little bit, like to number 2, 3, 4, maybe if you were gonna put it in a top 5 list. Well, they didn't buff Merlin again. What they did was they gave us Spear of Magus. Why Merlin's so good? Build standard stuff, Shoes of Focus, Spear of Magus, Spear of Desolation, your finishing boots first, Soul Reaver, Soul Gem, Rod of Tahuti. Another god where Kronos Pendant is very, very good. If you're more comfortable with that Kronos Pendant, you can throw that Kronos Pendant in over Spear of the Desolation. You can just throw it into the build after Spear of the Magus. So anytime from here on, you can throw it into the build and then just shift everything to the right. So if you throw it in after Spear of the Magus, Kronos Pendant, Spear of Deso, Soul Reaver, Soul Gem, Rod of Tahuti for boots. Just shift everything over 1 and just keep building them and keep going like nothing happened. And like I said, Merlin's just so good because of Spear of Magus. All of your abilities are multi-hit abilities. Your 2 multi-hits, your 1 is spammable on like a 3-second cooldown. In Frost Stance, that is. Your Fire Stance, 1 and 2 both hit multiple times. And even in the Void Stance, your 1 hits multiple times. Plus you're proccing, like all the abilities, you're using 4 abilities on 1 person. So it's just doing so much extra damage from all of your abilities. It makes Merlin fucking broken. If you look at some of the pros tweeting, I know somebody said they're only playing Merlin in ranked until he's nerfed and they're like 15-0 or something. So it is being spammed. It is doing really good, and it should not be all that confusing as to why. It should be really, really straightforward. And then I want to give a couple of honorable mentions, because just because these are our top 5 doesn't mean other gods aren't good. Raijin is still very good, especially with that Spear of the Magus. It's just Raijin was a little over prioritized. You sit still in your ultimate. You kind of are easily focused by a lot of gods right now. A lot of the assassins love to just dive Raijin. Like killing Raijin is not hard at all. There isn't enough self peel. Like you use the ultimate and I can just beads and hit you, and if you're trying to peel me, you're doing less damage. I'm beadsing it, so I'm just taking less damage, beating your ass. The other gods I want to mention, Soul doing really well with the Ring of Hecate build, and then 2 hunters. If you looking for physical damage in the mid lane, Medusa, huge buffs, doing really, really well right now, especially in lower end games. And then Cupid. I think Cupid is probably one of the best just hunters to play right now because of the builds. If you're going a crit build, there's a crit build you can run. If you're going the auto attack build, these auto attack builds you can run. Works in the mid lane, works in ADC. Cupid's just doing really well right now. Also, plus you're fairly safe. Your 3 dash is a really long ways, plus you have the self heal to sustain and stay in fights. Ends up going a long way when a lot of healing isn't being played in the meta. There's your top 5 plus 4 other gods you could look at. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what top 5 you want next. I mean, we have supports and we have what hunters? We have hunters next. I don't even know what I've done. Yeah, I did junglers and solo laners. So we have supports and hunters. We have the duo lane next. So let me know what you want. I already have the hunter builds updated on the website, so they're on there if you need them. Just for you. Make sure you guys are subscribed. Please hit that subscribe button. It takes 5 seconds. Just hit it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Drop a comment. Let me know what you guys want next. Let me know what you guys are thinking on my mage top list. I want to know what you guys are playing and how it's going for you. And I'll see you all in the video later today.